India is building its ties world over, but on the other, we continue to have trouble with the dragon. Ruling out a compromise to the military standoff in the Sikkim sector, China has put the onus on New Delhi to resolve the situation. Chinese ambassador to India has said it is for the Indian government to decide upon options to resolve the standoff. China and India have been engaged in a standoff in the Doka La Area for the past 19 days after a Chinese army's construction party came to build a road. Holding on to defiant mode, China has said that Indian troops must unconditionally pull back to the Indian side of the boundary if all India wants to have a dialogue. Now, as the stage is set for Prime Minister Modi and Chinese premiers meet at the G20 Summit in Hamburg, this standoff seems far from getting over.
India will not come into the pressure. Defense Minister Arun Jaitley has already said that India is not of 62. We have changed a lot. We have one of the best navies. We have one of the finest armies, which has the experience of 200-year-old, an air force. But we don't want a war with any country, whether Pakistan or China. Our policy is to sort out disputes through negotiations.
Let's go back to my colleague Ashish, bringing us the latest on what efforts are being made to try and douse the situation there in Sikkim between India and China. Ashish, tensions seem to be mounting. What words have broken out? If the Defense Minister of India had to say India is not what it was in 1962, China had a retaliatory statement as well. Now they put the onus back on India, saying that India has to withdraw its troops from there. In your understanding of the situation, how do we ease the situation at the moment?
So Akshay, both the countries have their side as far as the standoff along the line of actual control is concerned. So no one knows exactly what happened there, who and whose fault was that. But one thing is for sure, that the Indian government has really successfully managed to irritate China since the time Prime Minister Modi had a very good and successful US trip and meeting with US President Donald Trump. Because only after that, since the time Prime Minister Modi met Donald Trump, there have been series of verbal attacks coming from the various ministries and departments of Chinese government, and it's non-stop, it's continuous, and it is on at least till last evening, and coming from the unexpected corners as well. We don't remember when of the last time Chinese ambassador to New Delhi had given an interview, but yesterday evening he made a very, very direct and attacking statement, which basically meant that the options are open. It could include some conflict or war, and the ball is in India's court. The China is not going to back off. These kind of statements coming from ambassador is certainly not in a very positive terms, and
Correct.
This certainly is not going to stop at this particular angle. We have seen how China has been creating that aggression, the military aggression along the line of actual control, both to try and capture the airspace, intrude into airspace, and yesterday and day before yesterday, back-to-back stories have revealed how Chinese are basically trying to create that tension along in the maritime domain as well.
That's right.
And just statement from the diplomat of Chinese government, the ambassador of Chinese government, is certainly an indication, be it military, be it diplomatic arena, the China really wants more and more aggression, and is in no mood to de-escalate the issue.
Well, the dragon is only getting aggressive by the day, and this is coming just before Prime Minister Modi is expected to meet Xi Jinping as well on a Friday in Hamburg. Will this come up in the conversation is the big question, but we leave it at that. Ashish, thanks very much for joining us with those details. To other